a missing relic, a score to be settled, all that, and death is on the line, we're playing Tears of a Goddess. Alright, so in this graphic novel, you're going to be going through an adventure, just like a Choose Your Own Adventure book. And the first thing I'm going to show you is the character sheet. Now, I'm going to recommend that you don't actually write in this book, that you go onto their website or go to a photocopier and photocopy this so that you're not ruining it, because I think you're gonna need a lot of these. This is a pretty simple game. So here's some of the artwork that you're gonna see. Trying to get that glare out of there. It is really nice and pretty and enjoyable. And then here, this is the only real substantive page I'm going to show you. This is the first panel. And as you can see, there's lots of different paths to take. They're going to take you in different directions. And after that, you go to that panel. So you might go to panel 29 or panel 85 or panel 171. And then you might even find in future panels numbers that are harder to see, that are more hidden, like maybe there'd be a 28 written right here, and then you'd go to panel 28, and hey, look, you might have found something cool. On your character sheet, you will make note of different time that has passed, so, and then different events will happen depending on how much time has passed. You want to take note of any items that you've used. So you start with a couple potions. You might have gained some extra in your inventory. You do have 3 health potion doses. That will give you 5 life each. Yeah, you're going to use those. And then you're going to pick one of these 3. So you have your disguise trait, your weapon throwing trait, or your burglary trait. And you're going to pick one of those, and that's going to be basically your profession for the game. And it's going to give you a different experience, depending on what you choose. So yeah, that's how you play the game. Alright, so let's talk about what I like about Tears of a Goddess. One, it's unique. I don't think I've ever played anything quite like this. The closest I've ever got were those Choose Your Own Adventure novels, and even then, they were not as fast-paced as jump, 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 choose your path, jump, jump, jump. They certainly didn't have any puzzle-type experiences in them. And I think that is where Tears of a Goddess excels. If you like going through a unique experience, if you like graphic novels, and you're a gamer, this is for sure an easy buy for you, I think. That being said, let me tell you some of the parts where I think it struggles. There's a bit of replayability in the game, in that you are not going to win the first time you play. So you're going to go back to the beginning, and you're going to try again. And there's a couple different paths. I don't want to spoil too much for you, but right from the beginning, it's clear. So after you've read the whole prologue, you get to this page. And this gives you 3 different paths to take. Now, one place I do take issue with is every choice that you make, it doesn't feel like you're given the information to make the right choice. So you may come across a fork in the road, and you have the opportunity to maybe go scout the area from a higher ground, or head straight in willy-nilly and see what happens, right? You may be surprised that one option may be better than the other, and you don't know why. You don't know why when you take one road or the other, it leads you down that path. You don't know why taking one road or the other is going to be better. You may have a certain skill that allows you to do something, but for the most part, doing something with a skill is less of a choice and more a, hey, you have this skill, okay, then you go to this panel instead of following the directions like everybody else. So you are kind of led on your path. Now, you do have real choices, it's just that you don't know why you're making the choices. Maybe that's me. Maybe I missed something. But if I missed it, I know someone else is going to do. And I think that might be frustrating for some. Another thing that might be frustrating is how many times you're going to go back to the beginning of the book and you're going to go down the same path again. Because you're not going to win it on your first attempt. Now that may be okay for some, but I think some are going to get tired of going back to the beginning and starting it again. Particularly when you die 30 or 40 panels down a run, and now you have to go back to the beginning and remember how exactly you got to those 30, 40 panels, what choices you made, and whatnot. Now, you do have a notes section, and I think it's perfectly acceptable for you to maybe mark down your path as you go so that you aren't getting to that roadblock. But I'm telling you, sometimes you're going to turn to a panel and it's going to go jump to panel, I'm going to make these numbers off the spot. They may say jump to panel 36. Okay, 36 takes you to 13. Okay, 13 takes you to 47. 47 takes you to 38. Okay, and then maybe you have a choice at 38. And 38 says go to 56 and go to 73. Okay, so you may have a choice at that point. But if you're marking down every panel, you're going to be marking down every time you turn the page. And there is a lot of back and forth in this game. Okay, so I've kind of ragged on it for a little bit. I don't want to give the impression I didn't like this game, because I absolutely did. It was a joy. It was more of a joy the first time I played it than it was, say, the last time I played it, and that's okay. I think that's okay. For me, that's okay. I didn't need it to be the new experience every time I played. So one thing I really like about the game is that you have a couple different paths right from the get-go. And that's really neat because even though you are playing the game multiple times, you do get a slightly different experience. Now, keep in mind, choosing a different profession will definitely mean that you're not going to be taking the same paths that you did before. And so if I go back to that previous problem about having to go a third, 2/3 into the game and then die, you're going to go, wait a minute, now I have to go all the way back to the beginning. And if you decide you're going to be a different profession, say instead of being proficient at disguise, you can be proficient at knife throwing, that's going to change your path. That's going to change the way you navigate through the game, give you different choices, which is a positive, but meaning that you could die a third or 2/3 away through the game again because of different choices that you make, and you still aren't going to get to the end. One thing I do have to say is how gorgeous this book is. The artwork, just look at this cover. Okay, simple, but it's just gorgeous. And the pages are, I don't want to give too much away. So let me find something kind of innocuous to look at. Well, let's go to the beginning where it's just the story. Okay. So there you go. You can kind of get a sense for what it looks like. Okay. And one more thing that's really cool are the puzzles that you're gonna find. Now, in my opinion, there are not enough. I think there should be 2 or 3 times as many puzzles because that's the coolest part of the game, is when you get to a junction and you go, okay, hold on, stop, pause, let me think. And you go through it and you think about everything you've seen, or you do the logic, and then you come out the other side and you're like narrowly escaping death. Or you go and you hit the puzzle and you're like, okay, what happened? Because you look at the puzzle and you stare at it and you're like, there's no logical sense here, and you just go, ah, screw it, and you walk in and I don't know, you get bludgeoned to death, or you get shot with a million arrows, or you get eaten by a naga. I don't know. There's a million different things that could happen. So, I mean, those are just three. So, there is one other thing I want to touch on, and that is the graphic nature of the game. It's not Game of Thrones here. We're not, talking at that level. But it is more mature than I expected. It does deal with more mature themes. Obviously, death is one of those themes, and there is some blood. There are some mild sexual themes that I ran into. I can't say that I've gone through everything, so I don't know the extent of how far it goes. But there is some graphic nature to the novel. I would say it is geared more towards a later teenager, to an adult. I wouldn't hand this to my kid. So this game is definitely of the vein of Time Stories or one of the escape room games where you are playing for the experience. And this is certainly a solo experience, so you're not going to gather friends around for this. But being that it's a book is just so cool. You can pack it up, you can take it with you. You have a pen and your novel, and you can go through it, and that's it. That's all you need. That's so cool. Okay, so my final thoughts. Tears of the Goddess. Not gonna be for everyone, but boy, was it enjoyable. It was enjoyable. It was a treat to go through this game. If for nothing else, then just how beautiful and well thought out the game is. Yes, I do wish that maybe there were more clues on the path and the direction to go. Yes, I wish that there's a better way to not be as repetitive, but golly, I don't know how to fix those problems and not have the same experience, because it's just beautiful. I can't more highly recommend this to someone who just wants to have a good time. It's not going to be a lasting thing. You're not going to get, 40 hours, 50 hours out of this thing. But what you do get is going to be worth your while. So that's it. Tears of a Goddess from Ryder Games. Graphic novel adventure series. Do it. If you like graphic novels, if you like games, if you like solo experiences, if you like adventures, any of those things, I think you're going to enjoy it. If you really get upset about some tiny mundane note-taking and repetitiveness, then it might not be for you. But if you can put those aside just a little bit, the experience is rich. The game is beautiful. The story is fun and engaging, and while it may not be the game of the year, I think it's gonna grab you. So, Tears of a Goddess, it's a recommendation from me. Go try it out, go pick it up, and we'll see you next time.